Hello YouTube! Today on the Naughty Librarian, the time has come for the first book unhaul of 2019. Alright, I have like a giant box of books. I went full like Kondo method here. These books do not spark joy, so I am getting rid of them, making more space on my shelves, because anyone out there who also hoards books realizes you run out of shelf space real quick. So I'm getting rid of some of the books I have either read and not liked, or I'm just never going to read it and I have no interest in it anymore, or maybe someone gave it to me for free, or blah, 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 blah. There's many reasons why there's books in this box I'm getting rid of. Let's just get into it. I'm getting rid of 2 books by Librarian. I have Taken by Midnight and Ashes of Midnight. And it's not that I don't like these books. I actually really, really love this series. It's just I have multiple copies and these ones are kind of beat to shit, so they're moving on. I'm keeping the nicer copies for myself. I mean, they're still readable. They're in great condition. It's just like the binding's broken more than the other ones, so they're getting donated. I also have the entire Wild series by Eloisa James. I read Wild in Love and like I have a rant video about it. So I may be immediately not ready to read the next books in the series. I don't think I'm gonna like them. Especially from, okay, like I have friends who did read this and liked it. And they like stories like this. And then they read the second book and even they didn't like it. So I was like, oh, no, that's not gonna be for me. So yeah, I just kind of came into all these books for free basically. So I'm not losing anything, but I'm not gonna read them. I have no interest, none at all. Also getting rid of The Cajun Cowboy by Sandra Hill. Total impulse buy, got a library book sale, it said Cajun on it. I love New Orleans, I grabbed it. However, this looks like hot garbage. I mean, maybe it's not hot garbage, but the blurb on here is very poorly written and it doesn't give me hope for the rest of the book, so it's gonna move on to someone who actually will enjoy this and want to read it. I'm also getting rid of this copy of Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, mainly because I have a better copy. This one's beat up, so it's going to be donated. I also have Beyond Control by Kat Martin. This is an ARC. I got it for free. I really have no interest in ever reading it, but I mean, it looks kind of cool. It's like suspense, I guess. Romantic suspense, yeah, so someone will like it. I'm also getting rid of A Rogue by Any Other Name by Sarah McLean. Again, I have a rant video about how much I dislike this book, so I'm like, you know what, you spark no joy in my heart, you spark ire, so it's gonna go away. I'm sure this is someone's cup of tea, it's just not mine. I'm also getting rid of Snowfall on Haven Point by Rayanne Thane. I grabbed this because I have friends who do like her books, but like, this is not my jam. Like, I can't even make myself read it. Like, I was just gonna do it because my friend liked it, and I was like, you know, we're still gonna be friends if I don't read this. So I'm not gonna deal with this. I can't, it's so Hallmark, like I can't do it. I am getting rid of Someone to Watch Over Me by Lisa Kleppas, mainly because I have 2 copies. I got 2 copies on accident, so I'm keeping the nicer one. This one kind of has like a weird, like 90s romance cover novel, but the other one has a smutty one, so I'm like, oh, I'm keeping the smutty one, obviously. I'm also getting rid of The Luckiest Lady in London by Sherry Thomas because I did not like this book. Don't like it at all. It's going. I did not like the characters, the story, and it was rotten. This bad. I don't like it. It's going. I am going to get rid of Bared to You by Sylvia Day. I did read this and I'm not into it. Like, it was okay. Like, I didn't dislike it. I mean, I think like 70% of this book is fucking. Like, it's erotica, basically. But I read it. I have 0 interest on reading any of the other books in this series, so I might as well just like pass it on to someone who will be super into this and want to read the other books in the series. I'm getting rid of this copy of The Power by Jennifer Armentrout because I have 2 copies and this is my shittier copy. I have a really nice copy. This is kind of my like beat up, well-loved copy. So I'm going to pass it on and someone else can thoroughly love this book as well. I am also getting rid of The Fate of 10 by Pittacus Lore. I freaking love this series. I wound up with 2 copies. Well, this was my copy. This is my original copy. And then I was at a library book sale and I found a hardcover version of it that had like free maps in it and stuff, and I was like, oh, well, that's nicer, I'm getting that. I got it for like 50 cents, so yeah. I'm gonna keep the hardcover one with the maps. This one's gonna get donated. I'm also getting rid of 1,000 Perfect Notes by C.G. Drews. I really don't know what this is about. I got it in a subscription box, and I didn't think that was the book in the subscription box. Like, I was like, ugh. So, totally not my jam. I think it's about a kid who plays piano and he has a crazy mom. I think I remember likening this to Great Expectations a bit, and I'm not going to read it. I'm just not. This is not my thing. I'm never going to read this. I'm just not. I'm getting rid of Strange Angels and Betrayal, both by Lily St. Croix. And I grabbed these ones because I saw ads for them in the back of Vampire Academy when I was reading Vampire Academy. And I was like, oh, I really like Vampire Academy, and they're like putting out ads for these in it. Maybe they're similar. And it's been all these years and I still haven't read these. So yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna read them. I'm just gonna donate them. Let them be in the world with people who will love them. I'm also getting rid of The Society of S by Susan Hubbard. I have no idea what this is about. There's no blurb anywhere on it. I think I looked it up online once and figured out what it was about, but I'm not gonna do that again. I'm also getting rid of Nightfall by Jake Halpern and Peter Kujawinski. Probably that's how you pronounce that. It's about these kids who are on an island that you're not supposed to be on at night because there's like monsters and shit. But overall, this has like terrible reviews on like Goodreads, which I shouldn't let like, you know, poison my mind toward this book that much. But I'm like, some of them are pretty scathing. So I'm like, ugh. Like if I haven't read it yet, like I'm probably not gonna ever. I also have Lying Out Loud by Cody Keplinger. This is a companion novel to The Duff. However, I have not read The Duff, so why would I ever read this? I did like the movie The Duff. The movie The Duff, surprisingly very good. I recommend watching it. I don't have the book. I'm probably not going to read the book. I'm not going to read this. I'm not going to read a companion to a book I haven't read, so it's going. Oh, I got another Cody Keplinger book. I'm just getting rid of all her stuff. I have That's Not What Happened by Cody Keplinger. I think it is about a school shooting. I got this for free at Y'all West. It was an ARC I got. And I just got it because literally someone handed it to me. I didn't ask for it. So, yeah, I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to do that. I have the first 2 books in a bind-up for the Vampire Diaries, so The Awakening and The Struggle. And, like, girl, like, I'm not going to read the Vampire Diaries. Like, I might actually like it, but, like, I don't want to. Not that I don't want to like it, it's just like, I'm just not going to do it. I don't feel like I have it in my adult soul to read this. I think if I was like 16, like my little emo bones would be all about it, but now as a grown adult, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm also getting rid of Otherworld by Jason Segel and Kirsten Miller. This is an ARC. I did read this and thought it was just okay. Like, it wasn't awesome. It was alright. I have no interest in reading the other books of the series. I know book 2 is out. I don't know if it's a trilogy or not, but there is a second book and I have no interest in reading it, so I'm just going to donate this one. I'm also getting rid of The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reed. This is kind of about, it's about rape culture, and it is an ARC I got for free, and I'm just, like, part of me feels like I would get something out of reading it, and it might be good, but just, like, I don't want to read another rapey book. Like, I don't have it in my heart. I'm just not going to read it. I also have The Family by Marissa Kennerson, and I got this book because I was at a book event, and the author was there, and I felt bad that no one was buying her book, so I bought it. I bought it, and I went and like got in her line and had her sign it for me, but like I have no interest in reading it. I really don't. It was like a good-natured buy because it does kind of have a cool idea. It's like a girl grew up in a religious colony, and then she kind of leaves the colony to go to the hospital, and she finds out like, oh, the way I live my life is weird, and like this 60-year-old dude shouldn't be trying to bang me. Oh. And I'm like, well, like, that could be good. But, like, I've had it for, like, several years now, and I'm not going to read it. Like, I'm just not. I am also getting rid of Enclave by Anne Aguirre. I have no idea what this is about at all. I think I just got it for the cover because it looks relatively stabby and it's metallic. It seems YA adventure, but I'm like, ugh. No, I read like I read the first sentence of this. By the way, it says, "Welcome to the apocalypse," and I'm like, nah. In Deuce's world, people earn the right to a name only if they survive the first 15 years. I'm like, whatever. I'm like already out. I'm not gonna like anyone in this. I am gonna donate Blue Bloods by Melissa De La Cruz. I got it because I was like, oh, Melissa De La Cruz, that's a name I hear. And she wrote about vampires. Cool. I will read this. Haven't read it. I'm never going to. Like, there's no part of me that has any interest in reading this book. Like 0% interest, none. I'm also going to donate The Ones by Daniel Swerin Becker. This is another guilt buy. I was at an event and I was like, oh, I should go buy that book. Okay. And I bought it and he signed it, but I have no interest in reading it. I really don't. It was a guilt buy. But, you know, like I went in with good intentions at least, so there's that. I'm also going to donate Welcome to Deadland by Zachary Taylor Linville. I picked this up. It's an ARC. I've had it since 2016. I'm never going to read this. It seemed kind of cool. It's like zombies and stuff and like kids trying to survive in zombie land. And it seems like cool. Like I might like it, but like I can't find time to read it. And I'm just like, I don't really think I'm ever going to read it. Like, I really am into the concept, though. So this one I'm kind of on the fence about still. Like, I might keep it. I might not. I'm not sure. So this is like a maybe. It's probably going to go, but it's like maybe right now. I'm talking myself back into it. What am I doing? I'm going to get rid of Departure by A.G. Riddle. I have no idea what this is about. I think I just got it because it looked kind of cool, sci-fi cover buy. I don't know. I got this at a library book sale, I think. So it's about a bunch of people on a plane crashes, and they're like, oh no, we're in a different place. Because that's how travel works. You land in different places than wish you left, but I guess the place they land is like super different, and they're like, blah, we're lost. And I'm like, nope. I'm gonna get rid of Star Climber by Kenneth Opel, and I had good intentions when I picked this up. It seemed kind of cool, sci-fi, fantasy, and it did have like a cool, like, you know, plot. It seemed kind of Illuminae-like, and it reminded me of that, but I feel like it's probably not going to have anything to do with Illuminae, and I'm fooling myself. It's been this long and I still haven't read it, so I think it's just going to go. I'm also going to get rid of Red Sparrow by Jason Matthews. I grabbed this because I saw it at a library book sale. They made it into a movie, and I just know there's like a lot of rape in it, and I'm like, I don't want to read rapey books. Like, I have no interest. So I'm like, well, I'm not dealing with that. I'm also going to get rid of Fractured by Karen Slaughter. I picked this up because I think I was watching a booktuber at one point and they really liked Karen Slaughter, so I was like, okay, I'm going to read some of her stuff, and I'm like, still haven't to this day. It's never going to happen. Maybe I would give it to my mom. She kind of likes murder mysteries, but I don't know. Who knows? I'm going to donate it. She's never going to read this either. I'm going to donate Your One and Only by Adrienne Finlay. So in this, it's like, in a future world, humanity has died out and there's only robots left, I think. Or like people they grew somehow. So there's only like one, I'm 100% human, and all the rest of them are like, we're robots! How are we ever gonna work this out? Blah. I'm sure it's not a zany romantic comedy, but I'm like, I don't really care. I am going to donate The Wizards of Once by Cressida Cowell. It's an ARC. I think I got it at Y'all West a couple years ago. Someone gave it to me, and it doesn't even have any of the illustrations. Yeah, they're just blank pages. But yeah, I think someone just gave it to me randomly, and I was like, okay. It's by the woman who wrote How to Train Your Dragon, so I was like, maybe, and I'm like, I ain't never gonna read that. I ain't never gonna read this. Never ever. I'm gonna get rid of Art Boss by Kayla Kagan. I picked this up because it was recommended to me. I got it for free. It's an ARC, and I really just don't have any interest in the book. Like, it does have some cool multimedia pages in it, and it's like rom-com. That plane is like gonna land on my roof. It's so low. I'm getting rid of 10 by Gretchen McNeil. I didn't want to get rid of this because I've met Gretchen several times and it's signed and I like Gretchen. I did not like this book in particular. So you know what? It doesn't spark joy. It's going to leave my shelf. I have other books by Gretchen McNeil that I like, so it's okay if I get rid of one of them. I'm also getting rid of How to Be Brave by Catherine Cotteras. And I got this because Catherine, I like her. She's a nice lady. I've met her several times. She's like friends with friends of mine. And I have other books of hers on my shelf. This one in particular, I don't feel like I'm ever going to read. So I'm going to donate it to someone else who will love it and want to read it and cherish it. I'm getting rid of this 2-book series. I don't know if there's more in it or not, but it's Idols and Icons, both by Margaret Stoll. I picked them up because I think I was reading Beautiful Creatures at one point, and Margaret Stoll is one of the authors for that. And then I ended up getting both of these for free at like a book fair. Like they were giving out books and I got them both, so I was like, well, don't mind if I do. And yeah, I'm just never gonna read these. I just won't. I know I'm not going to, because the Beautiful Creatures series, like, it did me wrong and it's like put me off to everything else they've ever written. Like, have you ever had that happen? Like a book does you wrong, you're like, well, I'm never reading anything by the author ever again. Like, it's very rarely happens, but that book series did me so wrong that I'm like, I can't even like bring myself to want to read these. Next up is Meet the Sky by Michal Hoyle. I was sent this for like promo to do like a video and put on Instagram and stuff, and I appreciate them sending it to me. It's a beautiful cover and it's kind of a interesting thing. It's like these 2 kids trying to survive a hurricane, but it's not like a book I'm going to read, but it is brand new, sent to me for promo, so I'm gonna donate it, and then someone who really does want to read this story can have their chance at reading it. I'm getting rid of Burning Kingdoms by Lauren DeStefano. This was totally a cover buy. Like, that cover's dope. I love it. I have no idea what it's about. Oh, no, okay. Okay, there's one thing on the back. I'll just read it. I've recently begun to believe that love is synonymous with madness. It can't possibly be an act of sanity. It is restless and always in pursuit. It will fall from the sky to have what it wants. And I'm like, whoa, over dramatic much? And I'm like, anything like that, it just reminds me of Delirium by Lauren Oliver, and I really didn't like Delirium, so I was like, oh, your cover is great, but I fear your pages, so it's going. Also leaving my shelf is This Is Where It Ends by Marie Kondo. I have no idea how to pronounce her name, and I feel bad about it, but I tried. I got it. It seems, I remember this being kind of hypey and popular, and I saw it at a library book sale, so I got it for like 50 cents or $1 or something. It's really cheap. And I was like, oh, that's cool. It's about a school shooting. It's from multiple perspectives, and I thought it was going to be really, really cool, but I'm a grown adult. Like, I'm not into it. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to do it. This one I have gone back and forth about. This might be a maybe pile. So I have With Malice by Eileen Cook. I got this little, most of these books I get at library book sales for like very little money, and they're like brand new. Someone read this once and donated it. It's bonkers. But, like, I don't know, it has such a cool premise. It's about these girls who are like on a trip, and then one of the other girls dies, and then the other girl's in a coma, and she comes out of the coma, and everyone's like, so did you murder her? And she's like, I don't know anything, I was in a coma. So, murder mystery, teenage angsty girl friendships, and I'm like, it sounds like something I'd be really into, so it's kind of like I'm talking myself back into it. And the cover's great. Oh, it might be a maybe. I should get rid of it. No, god damn, it's a maybe. I talk myself back into things. Moving on, leaving my shelf is Ruthless by Carolyn Lee Adams. This is kind of about a girl escaping from a serial killer and her having to be ruthless to survive. And I was like, that sounds cool. I have zero need to read this. Like, it's a cool cover, it's a cool concept. I'm not gonna read it. I'm getting rid of Incarceron by Catherine Fisher. I got it just because it's like fantasy, YA looking kind of book. And I recently saw The Mortal Engines with Leanna from Leanna's Library, and this reminds me too much of it at this point. And that movie was so laughably bad that I'm like, I can't deal with this. Like, yeah, this looks terrible. It's about this prison that's like a city, and then this kid's like, I'm gonna escape. And then there's this girl who's like, here's a key. My dad wants me to marry this dude who's creepy. Help me escape, and like we'll do this together. And he's like, okay. And then like they try to escape this prison, and I was like, ugh, bleh, nope, no, thank you. Not one but two guilt buys. I have Shuffle Repeat by Jen Klein and Julian Cade, Fake Paranormal Investigator, also by Jen Klein. This was at a book event, and I was like, well, I should buy the book. And I bought two of them. I did read Shuffle Repeat though, and it is kind of like it's a fun kind of rom-com, coming of age story, teenagers. They basically make playlists as they have the carpool to school, and they kind of get to know each other, and it's kind of like, it's a little bit like The Duff, I'll say, like the movie, because I haven't read the book, obviously. But it's kind of fun, light rom-com. I was just mainly keeping it all these years because it's signed to me, but I don't need it on my shelf. Someone else is named Amanda in the world. They can have it signed. La la la. The last book I am unhauling is We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach. And again, cool cover. I had heard interesting things about it. It seemed kind of popular. And I found it for like in a library book sale for like maybe $1. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll grab this. And then I'm like, I am never gonna read this. It's a New York Times bestseller though, so I guess it's good, but I'm just never gonna read it. I guess it's about this group of kids, and there's a comet coming towards Earth that's gonna obliterate everybody. What do you do? Seems cool, but I'm just like, I don't really feel like reading about being obliterated, so I'm just gonna move on. I'm not gonna read this. Okay, so that was a whole boatload of books I'm getting rid of. Holy bananas, that's a lot of books. Okay, moving on. All these books are getting donated, and I recommend donating books. You know what? I go to library book sales and I get probably 90% of my books used secondhand. Someone read it, maybe they have multiple copies, maybe they didn't like it, maybe they're just never gonna read it either. You go to a library book sale, I got like brand new books for like $1. Like, so yeah, donate to your libraries, donate to a used bookstore, do whatever you gotta do. It's good to have space on your shelves. They're immediately full again because I bought new books already because I'm a crazy person, but that's my problem. That's my cross to bear, so it's okay. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below if there's a book you want to talk me out of getting rid of. I don't think it'll work because I might have already gotten rid of these books before I post this video. Who knows? But let me know in the comments down below if there's something I really should read and rethink about. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!